Welcome to the Mayor's Press Conference for Friday, August 28th. Today I'm joined by School Superintendent Terry Heeman and Spencer Activities Director Taylor Chapman. They're going to give you an update from a community perspective on the school district and hear about some attendance policies as it relates to fall sporting and activity events. On the city side, I wanted to take the opportunity to update the citizens on a couple items. We recently finished our park master plan and had that presentation to the council. I'd like to thank all the community members who participated in the online surveys as well as the mail-in surveys. That feedback was instrumental in helping us prioritize the spending for implementing the recommendations. So the next step in that process is we will continue to meet as a council and look at the capital improvement projects, the big projects especially that are in that. Just to highlight a couple of those recommendations, one of those is a splash pad somewhere in our community. There was a couple locations that were discussed, and we'll have further conversations on that. The second is the expansion and renovation of our park campground. We need to update our electrical services as well as possibly add some camping spots, and there were a couple recommendations in the plan for that, so stay tuned for that. Trail maintenance and expansion of recreational opportunities was another priority. So you started to see this a little bit last year with some increased activities in our parks and outdoor recreation areas. We want to continue that and grow that, so please stay tuned. Yoga in the park this summer is an example of that. We want to have more of those types of activities and get people out into our public spaces. So again, I'd like to thank the park board and everybody who participated in that. Commercial air service discussions. When I ran the last time, one of the priorities was to have the community-wide discussion about commercial air service. We had significant discussions, and then COVID-19 hit. We put those discussions on pause, and I want you to know that we're in the process of revamping those discussions. We don't know exactly which way they'll go, but want you to know that we're continuing to work on that. And again, the key aspect of commercial air service is to help combat the isolationism of living in a rural area and getting connectivity outside of our area other than having to just drive yourselves. Economic development. In my last campaign, I promised a commitment of $250,000 towards biotechnology investment and company recruitments. Again, COVID-19, we had a set up to go to a large biotech show and talk to some companies. COVID-19 hit, that got canceled, so that's been on pause, and we are in the process of revamping our financial discussions about how to invest in businesses moving forward. And so that's part of what will happen over the next 6 months, which is a segue into our strategic planning. We had one session left to go to finalize our strategic planning when COVID-19 hit. Again, we put that on pause because our direction and time was spent elsewhere, and we're picking that back up. Amanda will facilitate a session next week on strategic planning, and we will get that wrapped up and get our goals back out to you as it relates to where our priorities are and where we will be spending money related to those priorities. There's been a housing study that's been completed. The Spencer Economic Development Commission Corporation is interpreting the results of that housing study. I want you to know as citizens that we're continuing to work on investing in the city in different levels of housing. We have a nice project being done by a developer out on the west end of town, and we look forward to supporting and encouraging other developments as well as the expansion of the development by the South Park Mall. COVID-19, the governor yesterday added some restrictions for the first time since restrictions were lifted for COVID-19, and they were in 6 counties in Iowa. She closed down the bars in those 6 counties. What I want you to take away from that is the bars weren't closed for any other reason other than the contact tracing that the state does and the local healthcare providers do. Once there's a positive case, they track down and try to isolate if there's a common place that the community spread is happening. And in these counties, there was a significant uptick in positivity rates. So the positivity rate means the number of tests that are being done, the percentage of those that are positive. For perspective, in Clay County right now, we're down right at or just under 4% positivity rate. In these counties, most of them were over 25%, and some of them right at 30%. So 1 out of every 3 that was going in was positive, and the predominant age group in that was 18 to 40. And so doing their contact tracing, they felt that the bars were a main hotspot for that, and so the governor has closed those until further notice. So we're okay here in Clay County. I want you to understand that nothing has been closed or rolled back by the governor here, but As we move forward, we need to continue to have the appropriate diligence towards hand sanitization. We encourage, as the governor does, the wearing of masks out in public to help stop the spread of COVID-19. And we're coming into the flu season as well. And so again, we just encourage everyone to continue to be diligent about paying attention to COVID-19. And I'll kick it over to the Superintendent of Schools, Terry Heeman, now. I would like to thank Terry and his team and their leadership. I'd like to thank the school board. I'd like to thank all the teachers and the parents. My wife is a school teacher, and if you haven't been in a classroom or seen a classroom, it looks significantly different. Many industries and professions have had to adjust their workplace setting, probably none more than school districts as it relates to the safety of the young people and the teachers and the staff. And so again, I would just like to express my appreciation for Spencer being ahead of the curve, I think, as it relates to a lot of other school districts. You saw their plan published weeks ahead of some other school districts, and they've done a lot of time and research into this, and so want them to know that we appreciate that. So with that, I will turn the mic over to Superintendent Heeman.
Thanks, Mayor Robinson, and I want to thank you and the city of Spencer for allowing us to participate and share some information out through this avenue today. I want to talk to our community about a few things. The first one would be our Fiscal Plant and Equipment Levy Renewal election, more commonly referred to as PEPL. So we're asking our community to support or to take action on our PEPL renewal election. That election is September 8th. You can actually vote right now at the county offices. The funds from the PEPL levy support building modernizations, keeping our facilities up to date. They fund transportation purchases, so allows us to have safe and reliable transportation for our students, and also our technology support. We want to have up-to-date modern technology for all of our students and staff. The PEPL levy does that. Facilities, transportation, technology. That's where we spend our PEPL funds. We're asking for a renewal of the levy that's been in place for some time. It's a 10-year renewal. So that levy is, that election is now through September 8th, and encourage people to vote. We are advertising for bus drivers. We have bus drivers, our pool of bus drivers is always tight, but we're in a situation where if somebody's out there looking for a part-time position or want to get on our sub-bus list, we will provide training and help in the certification process. Anybody that's interested in getting their bus driver certification and possibly being an employee for Spencer Schools or getting on our bus sub-driver list. Recently at the Tuesday, August 25th board meeting, the school board approved a calendar amendment, and that calendar amendment turns September 18th, Friday, September 18th, into a school day. Normally that would be fair day for students and staff. With the Clay County Fair being canceled this year, we're taking the opportunity to turn that into a school day. So September 18th will be a regular school day for students. The mayor talked about school. School's been going well. We're finishing up, we just finished up week 1. Great attitudes among staff, students, and families. You know, there's some changes taking place. The big one is that we're wearing face coverings in school when we can't social distance. And I got to tell you, all of our kids are doing a great job. It's a learning process, and it's something new that a lot of us aren't used to doing. But we're making it a habit and building that routine, and we're doing so that we can stay in school and so that our students can participate in their activities. And all you have to do is look back to last spring when everything was canceled and students missed out on so many things. So it's really important for all of us to get involved and wear a mask when you can. Wash your hands, social distance, all of the things that we've heard about. If we all do that, we can have a normal school year for our kids. So with that, I'd like to thank the mayor again for letting me participate today, and with Mr. Chapman here as well to talk about some activities.
Again, yeah, thank you to the city and Mayor Robinson for having us. At that school board meeting that Mr. Heeman was talking about, they approved a fall guidance plan for, I think the big question everybody wants to know is attendance, and what our fall events will look like. Just as our school day looks different, obviously the main focus is education and teaching our kids, but we had to make accommodations to make that different, so we can be in school. Similar to our activities and our athletic events, those will have to look different from a spectator perspective, for the safety of our community, our fans, our students, and our staff. And I think first and foremost to slow the spread of COVID-19. So, like Mayor Robinson we're at a 4% positivity rate over the last couple weeks, which is great. It means our community is in a great position, and we want to keep it that way. So first thing I'll talk about is how we're going to handle attendance, particularly at our athletic events for now, meaning football, volleyball, and swimming. We were supposed to host a home cross-country meet, which got postponed yesterday because of the heat. So for football and Dale Norton Field, we will give 6 tickets per participant. That means players, band participants, and cheerleaders. So it's not open to the general public, unfortunately. We have to give that priority to our kids and their families. We will have a student section. We will do a lottery system this year. Our kids are in the process of signing up in pods, and they will be socially distanced in our stands. In the process of yesterday, I formatted our gym. It's kind of a checkerboarded pattern with little tiger head stickers that say, please sit here, for that family of 6 or friends of 6 that are coming for our student section. So we'll handle that way for Dale Norton Field. Our capacity is 1,690 people on our home side of the bleachers, which comes out to about 450 people on our home side bleachers. Thankful to the city for they're helping us get some extra bleachers to maximize the amount of people we can have at events, particularly our students. I think it's important we have them at our events so they have a positive thing to do, whether it be on a Friday night or a weeknight of school. Masks will be required in our facilities when you're coming in to pay admission. Backtrack a second. Just because you have a ticket doesn't mean you get in for free. You will still have to have a $5 admission charge, or if you have an activity pass, parent pass, grandparent pass, any of the passes we provide, then that will allow you to get in. We'll require them around our facility, whether you be going to the concession stand, restroom, anything like that, or when you can't socially distance, similar to our school day. Like I said, in our gym and out at Dale Norton Field, it's a checkerboarded pattern set up to socially distance our pods, 6 to 8 feet apart about, and there's 6 stickers that say please sit here. So we ask you to abide by that, and and there's signs that say don't sit in this row as well. We're doing our best to keep our community safe and the spectators that do come to our games, to make sure they can social distance at our games. Also thankful to SMU. They will be live streaming our games. So for those of you that have come to Friday night football games for many, many years, and you don't have a grandkid or the ability to get a ticket, our games will be live streamed. If you're a cable subscriber through SMU, it'll be live streamed to Channel 3, or it'll be on their YouTube channel, Spencer Channel 3. We will have a concession stand of prepackaged food only, so pop, candy, and then prepackaged pizza, as we have done for years through Godfathers. I think last and foremost is we're taking these extra precautions as Mr. Heeman said, for our kids, so we can stay in our school day, and so they have the ability to do the things they love, whether it be participating in the fine arts or any athletic team or any sort of club. It wasn't a fun spring, I don't think, for anybody, and we want to give these opportunities to our kids this fall. So we're taking these precautions for them, and then also for the safety of our community. And when you do come to a game, we're happy that you're there, but ask for your patience and grace, as it's not going to be perfect, and we need some help from the people that are coming to make it a safe environment.
Thank you, Taylor.
Thank you.
In conclusion, I would just like to wrap up with a couple items. I'd like everyone to know that our COVID-19 task force in the county still meets daily. It's composed of city staff, county elected officials, sheriff, police, fire department, the EMS, Tammy McKeever, Eric Tigas with the position he's in disaster recovery and emergency services. We have the school is on board. The YMCA participates. Mayors in the other towns in Clay County participate. The reason I bring this up is it's the only one in the state of Iowa that meets daily with this number of people. And the hospital, of course, Jeff Messerol from the hospital is on there. And what it enables us to do is help as a community, a county-wide area, stay on top of COVID-19 and help to make the decisions that need to be made in order to be here as a resource for different organizations related to changing the activity structure of organizations related to the virus. And so I would just like to take the time to thank all of those members. It's a daily commitment. We last 15 to 25 minutes every day, and just thankful for everybody who participates in that to help keep our county safe. I'd like to address mental health very quickly. It's important, especially in times of stress and change, that you take time to make sure that you are mentally healthy yourself. So please remember to have good behaviors, exercise, take time to meditate and think and reflect. While we all have different aspects of our life where we're in and out of leadership roles, no matter if we're parents, what we do at work, take time to work on yourself as well. It's a stressful time, and mental health is incredibly important. Growth and development and vibrancy. There's an old saying that stress reveals character. The character of our community, you can see through this stressful time. There's buildings being moved into downtown and renovated. I believe there's 3 currently in process. The Meters, with their business Press, won a Main Street, Iowa contest with the things that they're doing downtown. You'll see housing going up around town. There's apartments being built. There's condos being built. And so while we are in a stressful time, we are in a pandemic, this community continues to move forward, and we should embrace that positivity and be thankful for the community that we live in. So I am certainly thankful for the growth and development and vibrancy of our area. And I would close with personal behaviors are a personal choice. Please choose responsibly. As Taylor and Terry have spoken, the choices that we make every day impact our ability as a community to stay moving in the right direction. And you don't have to look any farther than the 6 counties that the governor issued restrictions in to see the reflection of personal choice behaviors and how they can impact a county and businesses and livelihood. And so with that, take care, stay safe, be healthy, and God bless.